Good afternoon. Welcome to this presentation where we are going to be talking about a combination of a solution from Edge2Web, where a customer has benefited immensely in terms of process performance improvement, where they were able to get good visibility about the entire enterprise. So let me do a quick introduction. My name is Rajesh Gaumatam. I'm a principal SI for AWS and solution lead for Industrial Data Fabric. I'm joined by Fred from Edge2Web and Miguel from Domanica Easy Edge as well. So to set up the context, in the industrial setting, we have got a lot of different data sets. So we need to be able to ingest the data at scale. So what we have is a solution called Industrial Data Fabric, where here, in this particular case, we are able to ingest data from Edge from all these different industrial protocols and industrial devices into the fabric with a specific service which is called AWS IoT SiteWise. From SiteWise, we are able to leverage the data, create visualizations, run agentic workflows, ML workflows, and many others. So this is how exactly the hybrid architecture looks like. So we have a partner solution, Easy Edge, which is deployed at the edge, the plant edge, where it ingests data from different PLCs and different through different industrial protocols, and the data is being sent at scale to AWS IoT SiteWise, from where Edge2Web leverages the data to create visualization, analytics, and dashboarding. With this, I will pass it on to Fred, who will talk about how they have deployed Edge2Web solution at a customer and improved their performance significantly. Fred?
Thank you very much, Rajesh. So our customer is a beverage brewing company based in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And if you look at the history of this company, they started out in the late 90s. The company was formed by two bartenders. And as you read down through their chronology and their history, what you see is what started out as an interesting idea turned into a rocket ship. These guys basically came up with the idea to create a portfolio of craft brews, bring them to a local market. They got traction in that local market, and then they started to grow. Their products showed up on the east coast of the US, which is where I live, in I would say 2005. But their track was unbelievable. They grew quickly, they won a lot of different awards, and ultimately they were rewarded as entrepreneurs with exactly what you want as a company founder, and that is acquisition by a larger company. In their case, the larger company was Mahaus San Miguel, which is one of the biggest beverage companies in the world, located in Spain. That merger basically happened because Mahaus San Miguel wanted to bring these local craft brews onto a global scale. And it was that requirement and that opportunity that caused this company, our customer, to have to rethink how they were doing their operations. They were doing a great job of creating their products and delivering them, distributing them to the market at a certain level of scale, but now they were going to have to do that worldwide. And so that required them to do an internal audit and examine how they were delivering their products. So we're going to talk about those, what they were doing and what that strategy was, but first, we have to meet the products, and this slide shows what those products are. They're delicious, by the way. I love them all. When they did their internal audit, they discovered, it wasn't a great surprise, that a lot of the work operationally they were doing was on paper and in spreadsheets. It's very common for manufacturers that are on high growth tracks to start in that direction and then need to digitize. But basically, their internal processes, their playbooks, their line changeovers, their maintenance procedures and so forth, their performance computations were all being done on paper and in spreadsheets. And in order for them to scale the operation, that had to change. They had to digitize. So They went through an evaluation process. They created a set of requirements, and those requirements started with the necessity to build an open, democratized data platform in the cloud. And for that, they chose AWS IoT SiteWise. And then on top of that platform, they were going to need tools that would automate their performance computations, give them the ability to create digital work instructions, changeover instructions, machine maintenance procedures, and so forth for their teams, because their teams were going to have to scale out and handle a much greater volume operationally than they were doing at that time. So these requirements brought them to Edge2Web. On top of AWS IoT SiteWise, they chose Edge2Web because we provide a full stack of solutions that would allow them to address all of their analytic needs. So if we look at this table and work from the bottom up, we have tools that are targeted at professional developers to build highly curated applications. So for example, digital work instructions, processes for handling shift turnovers and machine maintenance operations, and that sort of thing. They wanted to have a set of tools that would allow them to do that. Working to the next level on this diagram, they wanted to have tools that their control engineers and process engineers could use to create custom analytics and visualizations. And so Edge2Web no-code tools became an important part of their decision process. And then at the top of this table, we have Edge2Web Factory Insights, which would allow the customer to very quickly stand up a smart manufacturing capability that would compute all of their KPIs, that would measure their asset availability and downtime, that would measure their product quality, that would track their manufacturing performance based on the equipment they had. So collectively, Edge2Web provided the tool set and the applications they would need to accomplish their goals and fulfill their requirements. So what do these products look like? Here we have a series of screenshots of the Edge2Web Factory Insights capabilities. It took this customer approximately 2 days to stand Factory Insights up, configure it, and start reporting KPIs to their machine operators, their line supervisors, their plant managers. And these are examples of screens that each of those users use in order to measure their performance, view their progress, and accomplish their objectives. This screenshot shows Edge2Web Factory Insights tools for operators, machine operators. So these solutions are geared toward really busy shop floor operators and supervisors who have to be able to digest complex equipment, performance, KPIs, and so forth at a glance, because they're doing a lot of other work. And also, in the case of machine operators, these tools give the operator the ability to actually change the data, to improve it, so that when KPIs are computed, they are going to be as accurate as possible. In addition to the sort of performance management and KPI computation and visualization, Factory Insights provides the ability to handle process monitoring type applications. So typically in the smart manufacturing world, you have solutions that are geared toward discrete manufacturing or process manufacturing. Factory Insights is geared toward both. And so in the prior screenshots, we saw analytics that were more focused on the packaging lines and distribution and so forth. So more the discrete side of the business. This screenshot shows more of the process side. So when the product is being brewed, they can monitor it, they can understand all of the sort of key characteristics of the process. They can receive alarms when metrics go outside of their ranges, and then they can take actions. And as one of the requirements we noted previously occur, then data can be integrated directly with their maintenance applications, and support tickets, maintenance tickets can be automatically generated. One of the key benefits for this customer going forward is the integrated AI capabilities in the Factory Insights products. So Factory Insights provides built-in analytics or AI capabilities for each one of the dashboards we deliver, so that, for example, a busy shop floor operator or shift supervisor who needs to do a turnover to the next shift can just press a button and get a narrative description of all of the key information that happened during his shift or her shift, so that they can complete that turnover. That stuff comes in the box. What also comes with Factory Insights is a set of tools that are geared toward domain experts. So a plant engineer, a control engineer who wants to be able to build conversational AI components to deliver to shop floor users, machine operators, and shift supervisors, and so forth. So that domain expert can use our tools to build custom Gen AI capabilities and plug them right into our dashboards, so that a shop floor user can just run those Gen AI capabilities right from the jump. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Miguel, because the track that this customer is on is to now expand the sources of data that they need to, or sources of machines and processes that they need to be able to collect data from. And even though this customer started with a sort of a basic type of data acquisition capability, they're now moving into a world where they're processing many different kinds of machines and acquiring data from many different kinds of protocols. And that's where our partner Domatica, with their Easy Edge capability, is coming onto the radar screen for this customer. So Miguel?
Thank you. Thank you, Fred. So as Fred was explaining, everything starts with connectivity at the edge, and that's what we are bringing to the table. So on the bottom left, you can see that on Founders Brewers, we connect to all their assets with our Edge solution, and we collect raw data, normalize it, and contextualize it for the application. With our high availability cluster, we guarantee that there's no data failure, and everything is managed from our central unified management center, Easy Edge Studio. We deliver data to Founders' AWS account. We leverage services like AWS IoT SiteWise, Amazon S3, and RTS. And on top right, Edge2Web offers their solution on top of AWS stack. Just a quick explanation about Easy Edge. So we are a cloud-first edge solution where everything is managed from Easy Edge Studio that resides in the cloud. There's no VPN access to gateways or login into gateways. It's centralized on our unified management center. Because we are a cloud-first edge solution, you don't need to do backups on the gateways. Everything is saved before deploying to the gateways, and at the edge level, the runtime environment will connect data between the southbound and the northbound. We also require very low requirements from the gateways, so it's a great solution to expand when companies need to connect to more assets. What makes us different? Well, cloud-first architecture, orchestration with our AI Copilot, and the ability to centralize everything on our unified global command center. And from there, the customer has connectivity to all their assets and able to manage data flow into the applications that he needs. Fred, back to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. So if we wind this presentation back to the goals that the customer had established and where they are, what we see is that they're a company in progress. They have not achieved everything, but they've made significant progress toward each of their key goals. So they have, with AWS IoT SiteWise, created an open, data-driven analytics foundation. They have, with Edge2Web Factory Insights, created and deployed a solution that can be scaled, that can help them manage their performance, understand it, and improve it. They've included the ability to do process monitoring and alerting on the process side of the business. And they've used Edge2Web tools to create playbooks and digital work instructions and so forth for their operator teams who are functioning on the plant floor. They've also been able to integrate the solutions from Edge2Web with some of their other plant systems, in particular their maintenance ticketing application, and they were able to stand that up very quickly. And importantly for this particular team, they were able to stand the solution up within a week, essentially, and now as they're scaling, they're able to roll it out across their lines and across their sites with minimal training and minimal disruption. And so they're still very much a work in progress. They're still moving toward their goals, but in a very short period of time, they've been able to accomplish a significant amount with the combination of AWS SiteWise and Edge2Web, and they have a terrific growth path in front of them with the addition of Domatica's Easy Edge solution. So with that, we'll conclude the presentation. We'll take some questions if there are any, but I would invite anyone in the audience who wants to learn more about these solutions to visit us right on the other side of this wall in kiosk 26. We'd be happy to demonstrate the solutions to you and answer any of your questions. And there are a few other calls to action here. You can actually, if you want to, get an Edge2Web Factory Insights sandbox account, play around with the software yourself, see what it feels like, whether it would fit in your installation. And you can also visit both Edge2Web and Domatica in the AWS Marketplace. So that concludes the presentation. If there are any questions, happy to take them. All right. Thank you very much.